Hi everybody, I'm in the shop, obviously. I only did that because Primary Seller does it, and he's brilliant. It is, on a serious note, I am in the shop. I am serious. There's Rebecca. It's Sunday, and I've just come back from the car boot sale. I got to the car boot sale just before 6 a.m. and I kid you not, guys, I was walking until until after 10 o'clock. I was walking pretty much a solid 4 hours, and I think I must have done a gazillion steps. Unfortunately, my Fitbit is broken. Well, the wrist strap is actually broken on it, and it needs charging. So, unfortunately, it didn't capture how many steps I did. Steps are irrelevant though. I had probably one of the best car boots I've had in absolutely ages. It felt amazing. It was one of those things where there's just stars aligned. I got some amazing items at some pretty incredible prices, and I'm going to share those with you now and tell you what I paid for them and what I hope to get for them when they sell. I suppose I should have known it was going to be a crazy good day when my first pickup of the day was this Thorens D150 Mark II turntable made in Germany. I got this for a tenner. That was the asking price. There was no haggling involved. They asked a tenner, and obviously I paid it. If you look online, these can fetch in working order a couple £100, but that obviously does depend on them being working order. You can, however, break these down and make really good money for the motor, etc. The guy was adamant that it's working as well. That shell alone can fetch about £50 to £60. It's got a Shaw cartridge on it, which is worth around 25, and that's without like the needle. So it's a pretty good pickup for just a tenner. If it is working, I'd be minded to maybe sell it altogether as a nice working turntable, but then again, parting it out is also attractive, although I'm just not keen on unnecessarily dismantling or cannibalizing a lovely bit of vintage hi-fi like this. Next item that I happened to pick up was this Sony DVD recorder with a hard drive and a Freeview tuner. This was just sat there with the remote control. It looks in excellent condition, so I just thought I'd ask how much it was. The lady said £2. It was one of those days, so I've just had a £10 Thorens vintage turntable and then an excellent condition Sony DVD hard drive Freeview recorder, and that was actually sold to me for £2 with the remote control, which I have got here. So assuming it's all working, I've got no reason to doubt that it will. These can fetch anywhere between, I've seen up to £65, £55, so £50 to £65 with the remote, from just a £2 pickup. The next item I picked up, I paid £10 for, and it was this Sigma lens. It was made in Japan, really good quality, and having had a look, this is a I think it's like a 75 to 200mm lens with a fixed aperture. Or something like that. I don't know. I did a quick bit of research, but anyway, I saw one sold. Oh god, words. Sorry, words are difficult right now. I saw one sold for £50, so my £10 should turn into 50 without much of an issue. So very pleased with that pickup. Also, from the next stall, I actually picked up two items. Now, one of the items that they had, I really like the look of it. It's just a VCR, but it's kind of unique. It's a Panasonic 4-head VCR, and this is the model number, the NVSJ50. Now, as you can see from me holding it, it's actually a very compact VCR, very, very compact, much smaller than your average VCR, especially from Panasonic. It has a jet rewind, a jet search feature, 4 heads, so really good quality. Unfortunately, they couldn't find the remote control for it. Now, they were originally going to ask a tenner for it, but I ended up getting this for £7, along with, now this is where things get really cool really fast, along with an Olympus Mu camera. Now this is just the Mu 1, but it's still worth picking up. These actually fetch working, and this is working. I've just tested it with batteries. The winding mechanism is working fine, the flash, etc. The timer function, the flash button and everything is working great. and these fetch about £115. So really, really good pickup. So that's already a couple of really high ticket pickups. I then carried on just searching for more stock, and there was definitely not a shortage of it on this Sunday. I'm really thrilled that I went. The next items I picked up, I thought I'd missed out because and I think I obviously did miss out on the lion's share of it. Saw an elderly gent walking away from this stall, and he had a bunch of these like dinosaur figures. They were really nice looking. However, I just searched through what he had left, and I still managed to pick up a couple of items, including this Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus from the year 2000. And this guy has got like a little button on his back which moves his arms, and then there is a button on his like rib by there, that these exposed ribs there, which I'm guessing makes him raw. He's doing nothing right now because I removed the dead batteries from him, but I don't have anything here to replace them with to test. They take 3 LR44 batteries, and then that should be good. Now I paid £1 for this. I'm not quite sure on the value, but I'm guessing from what I've seen around 20 to £30, which is pretty impressive for this particular figure. Now, she also had this figure. Now, this I have not researched. I don't know what it's worth, but I don't think it's worth much. It's a very basic one of those little figures where when you wag the tail, the mouth opens, and then you do it downward and his head kind of bobs. I don't know. But anyway, £1 for that as well. I don't know if that was a mistake. That's a Jurassic World one. That's probably more likely to be a mistake, but this one was a good one. Another store where I picked up 2 items, and believe it or not, I'm not showing you the same thing twice. I'll just for video proof, there's 2 of them. I picked up another Olympus Mew camera for £2. It was a weird day, so a completely different stall, and here you can see the cameras, just so you know I'm not, just not showing you the same item twice. But yeah, another Mew camera, and again it's been tested. It seems to be working really well. The focus works really sharp very quickly, and again that's for £2. Should be fetching about 115, which is fantastic. Now from the same stall, I picked up this Sony radio. Paid, I think again £2 for this, and this should probably fetch me between 20 and 30. Some people think these are rare and try to get higher prices, but I'm not sure on that. They are kind of rare. You don't see them very often. That doesn't make them valuable, however. But this is a FM medium wave and long wave Walkman from Sony. Now, it's always worth checking. I don't know what the headphones on this are. They're probably not special. They are Sony, but it's always worth checking what model number is on the headphones, because there could be some value in the headphones as well as in the radio. So that's another pickup there. Moving on from another stall, I picked up a VCR. Oh gosh, here we go. JVC VCR. Apparently it's all working. Again, no remote, but again, £2. I mean, people just wanted £2 today. It's been a long while since people have just wanted £2 for their things. But I'm not grumbling. It happened today, so really pleased with that pickup. Next couple of items. Not £2 this time, £5, but still really, really good. For £5, kind of really, I'm just really happy that you can get days like this, and it just shows maybe you just need to be going when the weather is perfect, when it's bank holiday weekend, the stars aligned for me, I guess. But for £5, I picked up this Sony TCM84 cassette recorder in its box, which is quite cool. And then I also picked up a working, tested Sony Handycam. This is a DCR something 14. I've had these before. These sell for around the £80 mark on eBay, so very happy. Came with its mains charger, battery. Moving on to the next item. Now, this was bittersweet because I got to this stall and there was a gentleman doing a deal with the stall holder, and I didn't know exactly what he bought, but I did see that there was an Atari ST involved. An Atari ST is like an old gaming computer from back in the 90s. They were similar to Commodore Amigas, so that kind of thing. For those of you that don't know, most of you will know what an Atari ST is. But yes, that deal was being done. However, that didn't deter me because I was already buzzing, because I'd obviously picked up a vintage turntable, all these cameras and all this stuff I'd picked up. So I was like, hey, there's plenty to go around. You win some, you lose some. And even though this deal was happening, this guy also had on his stall a really interesting looking keyboard, or actually it's a synthesizer, I think. This is a Casio Tone M800, MT800, and yeah, this looks in really good condition. He wanted a tenner for it. And I was kind of like, yeah, I was kind of umming and ahhing, and I was watching this deal happen with the Atari ST, and on his stall, while he was dealing with this guy, and I'd asked about this, and he was like a tenner, I spotted that they also had this there, which is a Logitech Attack 3 flight stick, USB flight stick. So I just said, would you do this and that for a tenner? And he was like, yeah. So he was happy to sell me these for a tenner. So in a way, that really helps with the profit, because this could probably fetch about 20 quid, I reckon, assuming it's all working. Now, I did like a cheeky eBay thing after I'd purchased it. I knew the Casio was going to be worth good profit, considering I paid a tenner for this and the thing. But when I did a quick eBay search, I saw that some of these had speakers supplied with them. Because it's like a synth, it doesn't have any kind of onboard audio. And so I quickly went back and said, you didn't by any chance get any speakers with this, did you? I think they meant to come with speakers. And he was like, oh yeah. So he remembered, because I triggered the memory in him. He actually remembered, yes, it did come with speakers, and he luckily happened to have them to hand, so I got the speakers as well. The next pickup I got was a bunch of Scalextrics. Now I tend to avoid Scalextrics because the value tends to only be in the cars, and you need to know what you're looking at, and I don't. The track itself tends to be not worth much money. You have to bundle it in large bundles to get any kind of value from it. But I picked up a bunch of track for a tenner, and the reason why I was happy to pay a tenner for it was because it came in this beautiful vintage Scalextrics and BT's bag. BT's holds fond memories for me. There was a local BT's when I was small in Croydon. I used to go there and look in awe at the train set running around the top of the shop. This is when shops were properly merchandised. You know, not like nowadays where everything's done like on a budget, but you know, their shop was beautiful. Train tracks running around, models hanging off the ceilings, like Tamiya kits everywhere. It was just heaven. And I remember also getting, my dad also buying me my Nintendo 64 from there. It was, yeah, lots of memories. But anyway, I digress. BT's bag. These should fetch about 25 to 30 pounds, so from a tenner to 30 pounds I'm happy. And also I did actually get 3 cars. Now I don't know what I'm going to get for these, probably not a lot, but I did get 3 Scalextrics cars. I'll show you a couple of them. So this one, this is a Colin McRae Grist whatever car. I don't know anything about these, so I paid the tenner on the strength of getting like 30 odd back for the bag. The track is a bonus. I'll sell the track, there's a bunch of it, and the cars are obviously a bonus. Then there's 2 more, but I can't bother to show you them. Now this next item is a complete and utter risk, but I was willing to take the risk. It's a Sony Handycam, Video 8 Handycam. I've never quite seen one like this. I paid £2 for it. Has no battery, has no charger, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way of testing it, getting it to work. But a Video 8 camcorder like this, if it does work, will be worth some good money. It was just a unique design. I had not seen a Video 8 camcorder like this for a while, so I was picking it up. It's got a lot of good features on it, which shows it was probably a high-end model at the time. It just takes a 7.2 volt power supply, so I'll have to see if I've got something that fits this, but for £2 I'm not leaving that behind. Now this next pickup is like amazing and confusing at the same time. Let me just show you. I was very surprised to see people milling around, and an N64 bundle sat on the bonnet of a car. So obviously I assumed that the price was going to be high on it. So I approached the seller and asked him how much are you asking for your Nintendo bundle, and he said £80. um, I did obviously say, are you willing to take any less? And he said, I literally just turned someone down when they offered 75. And I said, look, okay, that's fine. Are you sure you won't take any less? And they just thought again, and they said, I'll do 75 like the other offer. And now, the reason why this is a bit strange to me is because if you've offered 75, I mean, is the £5? I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was a good reason behind it. Maybe this is a terrible buy. But for me, if the guy had stood firm at 75, sorry, at 80, I would have probably paid the 80. It's in excellent condition. The control stick is really good. It hasn't had much use. It's very clean. It's got the rumble pack with it. It has all the power supply and the official composite cable as well. And there's value here. At £80, I think there's value here, and I got it for 75. Whoever offered 75 and didn't take it for 80, I would love to understand why. Because maybe it's something I can learn from there. But I personally, I think it's a good deal. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. Now, the reason why I think it's a good deal is because these consoles on their own regularly can fetch £70 plus shipping. So £70 plus shipping for the console on its own. Now, this console comes with the expansion pack installed as well, the red expansion pack. I've seen people get £45 for the expansion pack, which is lovely, and that in itself is a nice little bonus. Now, obviously, the Zelda games have value. Majora's Mask, normally car only gets about 35. I've seen people get 50 for it. And these Prima guides, they have value. They sell for around 30 odd pounds. And again, the same with Zelda and the Zelda guide. You're looking at like 30 quid for the guide and 30 quid for the cart at least. So, obviously you wait a little bit, you might get the higher price. Like I said, I have seen someone get 50 for the cart only on that. So there's some good value there, right? Or is it not worth it? I mean, it's nowhere near as good margin as some of the other pickups I've shown you. But obviously this is like rarer stuff as well. I mean, the other stuff is, funnily enough, more readily available and more profitable in terms of percentage, what you pay versus what you'll make back. Whereas with this stuff, even most people know that it's got some value, so you're not likely to pick this up for like 20 quid, are you, or 30 quid? It's just not likely nowadays to get a bundle like this, whereas a couple of years ago you perhaps would have. These games are obviously just fodder. If anything, you could probably bundle them with the Nintendo, bump the price up to close to 100 maybe, so get like 100 back, and then sell that and the expansion thing for your profit. So you'd have 2 games, 2 guides, and the expansion to sell for profit, and sell the console for 100. I mean, there's options. Just thought it was a good pickup, but I could be wrong. I'm kind of confused now. As I'd had such a good car boot sale, it motivated me to keep looking, and in total I think I walked for nearly 4 hours, from before 6 in the morning till about 10. Now, just as I was leaving, and I don't even think I saw everything, I ended up having to give up because I was so tired. But just before I left, I spotted this at a stall. It just looked interesting. It was a darts administration system. It was on the floor under a chair, and the lady wanted £1.50 for it. It is working. It probably needs a little bit of TLC. That's what the display looks like. The enter button is a bit finicky. You need to press it on this kind of bottom left hand side for it to function consistently. But this unit is made in England, and having had a look online, these are fetched up to £50 on bids. Someone has gotten about that, I think, just on auction. 40 to £50 I should be able to get on this, and I only paid £1.50 for it. So that was like a last hurrah. I can only imagine how many more deals there were still at the car boot, but by the time I picked this up, I think I was just literally getting mentally and physically tired to the point where I wasn't going to be seeing things. I'd been missing deals anyway, so after this I called it a day because I thought I'd done pretty well. Anyway, I'm now going to go home and edit this video. I hope you enjoyed the pickups. If you've got any comments or questions about them, please leave them in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.